What's up guys, Blue Flame here. I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm gonna be telling you my favorite Pokemon of every type. A lot of PokeTubers beat me to this, but guess what, we're gonna do this anyways. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's dive in. My favorite normal type is Snorlax. Snorlax is not only iconic, but he's also a very chunky boy, and I love him for that. He's very bulky and can take hits very well, and he's also incredibly powerful. Also, both Ash and Red used one on their teams, so I have to give Snorlax some points for that. My favorite fire type is Cinderace. Those who've watched my Pokemon videos know that Cinderace was my first Pokemon that I ever gotten, so I already have a soft spot for him. But I also love this guy because of how underrated he is. A lot of people say how bad he is because he's humanoid, but he's literally Cristiano Ronaldo. Seriously though, his type coverage is so good. Cinderace gets moves like Bounce, Trailblaze, Acrobatics, Iron Head, Scorching Sands, and more. Cinderace is one of the most broken Pokemon ever that I've used, even if he's just pure fire type. Also, his Gigantamax form is so freaking dope. My favorite water type is Greninja. For those who know, Greninja is my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's so cool and really good in battle, with its high speed and special attack. But the anime was what really made me fall in love with it. Ash Greninja was just so freaking cool in the anime that I had to make it my favorite Pokemon. Plus, it's one of the best starter Pokemon ever made, and its design is literal peak. My favorite grass type is Sceptile. We really just went and made all the starter Pokemon appear in these videos. The reason I like Sceptile is because of how cool its design is. It's a lizard that has a tree as its tail. That is awesome. Plus, its Mega Evolution was the first Grass Dragon type, which made me like it even more. But once I watched it in the anime and saw Sawyer's Mega Sceptile, I fell in love with it. It used to be my favorite grass starter until Decidueye took over, but Sceptile gained that spot back in this video. My favorite electric type is Luxray. I've always liked Luxray, but it wasn't really on my top 10 for a while. That was until I got Brilliant Diamond, which I could finally use Luxray in a playthrough, and it was dominant. While Spark wasn't the best move, it was not the worst move. Plus, most people tend to think that Spark is worse than Thunderfang, but I'd argue that Spark is actually better than Thunderfang. Spark is stronger and has 100% accuracy. Luxray also gets coverage with Ice Fang, Fire Fang, and Crunch, making it even better in battle. And while its pose in Brilliant Diamond wasn't good, its poses in Legends Arceus and especially Scarlet and Violet are amazing. My favorite ice type is Galarian Darmanitan. For those who don't know, Pokemon Sword was my first Pokemon game, meaning that I love a lot of Galar Pokemon. And while I do think that regular Darmanitan looks better than Galarian Darmanitan, there wasn't really much ice types that could surpass this gorilla. Plus, his Zen mode is literal broken. My favorite fighting type is Mega Lucario. I've always been a fan of Lucario, but the Mega is what really made me like it even more. The anime showed just how powerful a Mega Lucario can be, and even without the Mega, Lucario is just simply awesome. The Mega Evolution really makes me think that it's a superhero that fights crime and destroys bad guys. I love the design. Plus, adaptability is busted. My favorite poison type is Crobat. You can't really make a poison type that looks cool without making it look ugly. But Crobat is the one that I think makes it look insanely cool. The nice and sleek design of it makes it look like a S-tier flyer, and it even gets better when you realize that it looks so cool. Golbat and Zubat really needed a glow up, and Crobat was their love letter. And while the friendship evolution is pretty weird, once you get Crobat, it is a monster to defeat. Plus, it gets even better back in Gen 4 when Cross Poison did double damage if it crit. My favorite ground type is Crocodile. I've always loved Crocodile. I think it's a really cool and interesting design, and the Gario aesthetic makes me like it even more. Ashes in the anime also made me love it because it took down a Dragonite. I always thought that Crocodile was really cool, but I feel like the anime was what really made me like it even more. Plus, its shiny is not bad. My favorite flying type is Hawlucha. I know it's weird for me to put Hawlucha as my favorite flying type where there are several flying types that y'all probably think are better. But Hawlucha to me is just so cool. It's a wrestler with a luchador outfit, and its personality in the anime only made me like it even more. Plus, it is really good in the games with its high speed and physical attack. My favorite psychic type is Gallade. Gallade has always been really cool to me. I think it's an interesting design and it looks like a warrior. It gives me Lucario vibes and that is something that I love. But its Mega Evolution is super cool. It gets a cape on its back, which makes me think of it being a superhero like Mega Lucario. To me, Mega Lucario and Mega Gallade are very similar, and Gallade and Lucario are also similar, so that makes me like these Pokemon even more. Plus, they're both Sinnoh Pokemon. My favorite bug type is Heracross. I've always had a soft spot for Heracross. I think it's an underrated bug type that I think usually gets overshadowed by Scizor. But Ash's in the anime was just flat out amazing. I mean, if you watched the Sinnoh League and didn't feel in awe where Heracross literally put its horn in the ground and then yanked it out to defeat that Kricketune, you probably have a problem. Plus, its fighting type really helps it with those rock types. Speaking of which, my favorite rock type is Duskform Lycanroc. Duskform Lycanroc has always been really cool to me. The orange coloring on it looks really cool, and it being a combination of both midday and midnight Lycanroc only makes me like it even more. It gets both Accelerock and Counter, which are the signature moves of these Pokemon, so I think having them combined it and Ash having one in the anime and it being basically the MVP of Ash's Alola team makes me love it. Plus, its shiny is awesome. My favorite ghost type is Ceruledge. I fell in love with this Pokemon ever since it was announced. It looks creepy and cruel, but still looks amazing with its design of having ghostly purple flame. And it gets great coverage with its Fire Ghost combination. Plus, it gets moves like Psycho Cut and Swords Dance, making it an awesome Pokemon. Plus, Bitterblade is so much better than Armor Can. Bitterblade allows you to legit heal after you take damage, after you put damage on the opponent. So, in my opinion, Ceruledge is just so cool to not put on the list. My favorite dragon type is Noivern. So, I liked Ash's in the anime, but never really grew fond of it because of how much it lost. But, I have a soft spot for Noivern because I used one in my first playthrough of Sword. I named mine Burst Boom because Boom Burst is its signature move, but Noivern is just so cool that I just love the design. It's fast, sleek, and is overall a phenomenal dragon type. Plus, its design concept is really freaking cool. You take echolocation and put speakers as its ears. My favorite dark type is Shiftry. Now, I know I probably could have chosen some other way cooler dark types, but in my opinion, Shiftry is just so freaking cool. First off, its physical attack makes it really strong with moves like Leaf Blade, Throat Chop, Payback, and more. Plus, its ability Chlorophyll only increases how good it can be. I also have a soft spot for this Pokemon because I used one in my first ever playthrough of Pokemon Sword. Also, my first ever playthrough of Pokemon Omega Ruby. Shiftry is just so good to me that I just can't wait to use it again. My favorite steel type is Scizor. Scizor is an awesome Pokemon for me. I think it's a really cool and interesting way of making a bug with armor. Plus, its ability allows moves like Bullet Punch, Wing Attack, and more to actually be really strong. Stack that up with a Swords Dance, and then you got a Pokemon that's destined to be good. The only flaw I have with Scizor is that, well, its base stat total is the same as Scyther's, but just balanced differently. But overall, I think Scizor is an amazing Pokemon. And last but not least, my favorite fairy type is Zacian. Again, my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Sword, so Zacian was the Pokemon that I got. But it being a dog with swords and being one of the best type combos ever, being Fairy Steel, making it even powerful is so cool. I know that most people will say that Zamazenta is better, but in my opinion, at least, Zacian is just so cool. Before I end this video, I'm going to real quick go over the honorable mention. The honorable mention for normal is Ursaring. The honorable mention for fire is Infernape. The honorable mention for water is Hisuian Samurott. The honorable mention for grass is Decidueye. The honorable mention for electric is Toxtricity. The honorable mention for ice is Mamoswine. The honorable mention for fighting is Surfetched. The honorable mention for poison is Eternatus. The honorable mention for ground is Gliscor. The honorable mention for flying is Hisuian Braviary. The honorable mention for psychic is Solgaleo. The honorable mention for bug is Centiskorch. The honorable mention for rock is Golem. The honorable mention for ghost is Dragapult. The honorable mention for dragon is Salamence. The honorable mention for dark is Roaring Moon. The honorable mention for steel is Corviknight. And the honorable mention for fairy is Tapu Koko. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you did, please make sure to smash that subscribe button and that like button because I appreciate the amazing support on the YouTube videos. If you haven't already, please make sure to also turn on your notifications and leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite Pokemon of every type is. Last but not least, make sure to stay cool, calm, and collected, and I will see y'all guys next time. Peace out.